And then we also own ESPN 700 Radio. And so one of Dave Checkett's, who is our owner, one of his philosophies in the business, what he's done in the sports world, is to have a stadium, have a team, have a broadcast element that he works with. And with that, that's where we feel that we can deliver the most for our clients as well as our fans that come to the stadium. So I'm going to talk a little bit about each of those elements. I've brought with me today Matt Linio, who is one of our corporate sales executives, and then I brought Steve Peterson, who is the director of our corporate sales and ticketing. And so Matt specifically specializes in selling corporate partnerships and opportunities across the board, Rio Tinto Stadium, Real Salt Lake, and then ESPN 700. If you're not familiar with ESPN, I mean, everybody's familiar with ESPN, right? We carry the local feed for the syndicated network that comes out of New York. It's Mike and Mike in the mornings, and then Colin Kaepernick. Dan Patrick is also on our station. He is no longer with ESPN, has his own affiliated syndicated show. And then we go into local programming in the afternoon with Bill and Spence. Bill is also the voice of the Utes, University of Utah, which is another product that we carry. We broadcast all of the University of Utah football and basketball games on ESPN 700. So, with that said, has everybody been to the building? Is there anybody who's not been to an event or a game? Okay, Steve? See all those people? One of the projects that was involved with building our stadium, and there was a lot of controversy over the stadium. If you've been here for a couple of years, you're probably familiar with it. The whole point, and one of the biggest questions is, why don't you just stay at the University of Utah? Big, beautiful cement building up there that's only used 6 times a year. Why don't you just stay there? The reason why we couldn't, 2 reasons. That building is owned and operated by the government. It wouldn't allow us to sell merchandise or control vending, food sales in the building. That was all theirs. So it wasn't viable for us as a business to stay at the University of Utah. And Dave Checkett's vision, and quite honestly the vision of the MLS, which is the fastest growing league in America right now with soccer, is to have teams that have their own soccer-specific building. And so that was the goal that was set out originally, was to own our own building and to get sponsors and people involved, get a community like Sandy involved so that we could move forward with that venture. And then also see all the benefits that come to a community when you bring a building like that. And so again, the 3 aspects with Rio Tinto Stadium, Rio Tinto being the parent company for Kennecott. And just a quick story with that. I was involved with the naming rights negotiations with Rio Tinto, and their message was that, you know, everybody understands and knows who Kennecott is, but nobody really understands and knows who the parent company is, which is based out of England and has operations in Australia. And is a worldwide mining company. And so they wanted to brand and say, we want people to know who Rio Tinto is. And timing is everything, as we all know, especially in sports. We hit right at the right time when they were looking to brand and do something to let people understand who they are. And we were able to get in and negotiate, and that's why our building is called Rio Tinto Stadium. We have an area that's dedicated to them. It has viewfinders that you can look out and see the mine. And then it talks about what they do and how many people they employ, and what a amazing factor they've been in the Utah economy for dozens of years. But with Rio Tinto Stadium, the one thing I really want to point out is that soccer is just one of the things that happens at Rio Tinto Stadium. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the concerts that we've had. We've had Kenny Chesney, we've had the Eagles, We had Sir Paul McCartney last year. Quite honestly, I was not a Beatles fan because I think I was abused as a child, being forced to listen to it repeatedly over and over again. But that concert ranks up in my top 3 of all-time events I've ever been to. It was a spectacular night, and a talent like that, there just isn't very many talents like that left. So it was quite a treat. But our mission is to really bring those type of events that they're one-off type events, and they're going to be significant. The Eagles is another band that rarely plays and tours, but doesn't come to Utah on a regular basis. Paul McCartney, first time a Beatle, has really ever been here and played. So we're looking for those type of events, but we also have events like this Saturday. We have the Snowcross, which is snowmobile racing. And if you were to go by the stadium today, you'd see 10 feet of snow that's been blown onto the field and trucked down from, I think they got it from Snowbird. We've had trucks, semis coming in all week long, dumping the snow. And quite honestly, I went last year, and it was an amazing event. These guys are doing backflips on snowmobiles now, and it's like a motocross, obviously, but on snow and loud, all those great things. But our building has really turned into a 12-month year opportunity with different events. We do a tremendous amount of high school events. We hold the boys and girls championships for soccer. We're looking to get the championships for American football to be played at our stadium. We held the national championship for high school rugby this last year. If you've heard of Highland Rugby, they participated in the finals. We also held the BYU-Utah rugby match in that stadium. And we're looking at lacrosse, we're looking at all sorts of different sports, college, professional, and high school. And one of the things that Dave said from day one is that this building is a community building. He wanted to make sure that high schools and schools felt comfortable. We have a little league football championship that's played there as well with, the little 10-year-old kids. And if you've had a chance to be to the building, you can only imagine what it's like for a 10-year-old kid to walk out on that field through that tunnel. And it's like Gladiator for these kids. They walk out, and it's just, it's one of those moments that's just, in your head for the rest of your life. And Dave is, very, very focused on making sure that the communities feel like they're a part of this building and that it is a community center. We're working on shows this summer. I can't tell you who I think we're working on, but there's some great acts that are coming. It looks like the high school national championships will be there again for rugby. The BYU match will be there as well. Again, we're going to have an exciting schedule coming up. Shifting gears back into soccer with Real Salt Lake. Our first game is March 1st. And just to help people understand, there's the MLS, which is like the NBA or the NFL, Major League Soccer, and we are a part of that league and have played. A year ago, we took the national championship in 2009 by beating David Beckham's team, the LA Galaxy in Seattle, in the finals. We were